So this tiny thing in my hand is Orba 2 by Artiphon. It's a handheld, battery-powered looper, sequencer, synth, drum machine, and you can make your own little songs on it. It has a built-in speaker and it's quite beginner-friendly, but also has some advanced features such as being an MPE controller for your software, and it even has its own programmable synth engine that you can download on your computer and create your own sounds for it. A highlight feature of Orba 2 as opposed to Orba 1 is sampling, but you can't record samples on the device itself. This is done through the companion app for your computer or mobile device, and then you transfer the sample to your Orba via a wired connection. Otherwise, the companion app works via Bluetooth and is used for changing presets, changing the key of the parts that you're playing, since these 8 pads are always set to play in a certain key and scale, and some other basic tweaks. It's in no way a deep app, and this is more of a fun toy type of device. The kind of thing that you just pick up and play, or a great Christmas gift for a musician or even someone with casual interest in music. So Orba is fairly limited in its capabilities. For the price of $150 or euro for Orba 2 and about $100 or euro for Orba 1, it's a reasonably capable and even crazy weird toy and a really fresh concept by Artiphon. And speaking about Orba 1, it lacks some crucial features such as quantized sampling and some other features that you can check out on Artiphon's website. And so in this video I'm gonna demonstrate the beat making process with Orba 2 and give you my thoughts and impressions on it. Oh, and by the way, Artiphon did send me this Orba 2 free of charge, but this is not a sponsored video and the opinion expressed in this video is entirely my own. Let's get started. Okay, so I got Orba set up with the companion app on my iPad. I've connected it via Bluetooth, but you can also use a wired connection, and in fact you do need the wired connection if you want to sample. You got this last section here, the sampling section, where you can use the mobile device's mic to record sounds and send them to Orba. I'm not gonna do this in this video. I'm just gonna use the built-in sounds. And on this section of the app you can select different presets for the different parts. So you got drum kits, basses, chord presets, and lead presets. And of course you can select the relevant parts from the actual device as well. The drums. And for the drums you can actually tap the thing and activate a 9th, because these are 8 drums that you have in this drum kit, but you can have another one like a shaker thing by tapping. Pretty cool, huh? So you switch the relevant sections by holding the A button and hitting the pad that you want to switch to. So I'm switching to the bass now, and now all my pads are playing the bass. And for these melodic sounds, you can actually do some expressive stuff. Like, for example, you can tilt Orba and you will have a vibrato effect. And for some sounds, like for example this chord preset, you can modulate different parameters like a filter by sliding your finger up and down the pads. You also got the tilting thing going on here as well. And these are all set to a certain key and a certain scale that you can set up here in the app in this upper menu here. So you have the key. I've set it up to be E minor. I'm just going to tap the tempo by holding the A button and hitting the BPM button. And if we go to the tempo section, we can see it's 105.26. So let's record some drums with that. I'm gonna record 4 bars, and to record you just hold the A button and press rec. I made a mistake. I didn't want to record on the chords track first. So there are a couple of ways to erase this. If you're using the app, you can just go here, clear chord loop, and just erase it. Or you can hold the A button and hold record. Or you can just hold the A button and shake the device. And now it's erased. I'm gonna overdo some hi-hats now. Stopping recording to rehearse a bit. Let's record. And as you can see, these blue LEDs indicate where we are in our pattern. This is really handy. And so if you go to our drum settings, you can see that drum quantization is enabled. So these are snaps to the grid. You can only quantize to 16th notes. And so for my other instruments, I'm not going to use quantization. Going to my chord part. Okay, so I stopped the recording. I'm just gonna turn down the bass a bit because it's very, very powerful. And I'm just gonna turn down the reverb and the delay on the bass. We don't want reverb and delay on the bass. Okay, so I turned down the chord as well. Let's go to the lead part, which is the glockenspiel. And you can also transpose it an octave up or down by holding the A button and sliding this octave button. Okay, so I've run out of parts on the Orba, so I'm gonna add a West Coast lead on the bass station 2. So here are my thoughts on Orba 2, some pros and some cons. So it's a fun device, easy to use and something that you can use without being on your phone all the time, like we are all on our phones like 24/7. You can just leave your phone and just play on the Orba 2. But at the same time, the lack of display means that you are actually required to use your phone to switch presets and do some other basic tricks. You'll need the phone with the companion app, and therefore it faces competition from actual music making apps for your phone, where you can do everything on the actual mobile device without buying additional hardware like the Orba. For example, an app like Koala Sampler offers much more immediate sampling experience. Another thing to mention is that although I managed to find a couple of decent sounds to make this beat, overall, I don't think there are enough good sounds in the library. I mean, it's all a matter of taste, but I think the sound library definitely needs an improvement. One thing to note about Orba though is the lack of latency. It is very responsive, unlike some mobile devices, especially of the Android variety. And so Orba is probably a bit too limited to be practical and useful for someone that is serious about music production, although yeah, you can use it as an MPE enabled controller, which is really nice, but I'm talking more about its standalone functionality here. But for the duelist jammer or the person who is into weird gadgets, I think it's a fun little grapefruit-like thing that can spark a lot of creative ideas. It can also be a great entry point into music making for kids, with the scales feature helping them not play anything out of key, and the immediacy of playing through the built-in speaker can be really cool for them. So I'd say it's probably a great stocking filler for the holidays. Thank you so much for watching everyone, and I will see you in the next video.